Hey droners, welcome to this week's edition of Droner News. We got Lego drones, we got legal affairs with drones, and we even have solar powered Wi-Fi spitting drones, because that's how we do it out here. So let's get into it. All right, coming in at number one, we have something that feels like it'd be like straight out of the Simpsons episode. In Kentucky, yes, Kentucky, there is a legal case going on about property, individual property dispute. And it happened because David Boggs was flying his drone in his own backyard, and his neighbor, William Meredith, took a shotgun and shot it out of the sky. And he did that because he's protecting his country, protecting his rights. But honestly, he said that the drone was flying over his yard looking at him and his daughter, because of course that's what it was looking at. Either way, he shot the drone out of the sky, and he's like, that's within his rights. And David is actually suing him for property damage because drones cost money. And this is a really weird case because there hasn't been any kind of precedent for this. Like back in the day, like the FAA, the highest courts stated that 500 feet above any space like your house is public space, which allows airplanes to fly over our houses all the time anyway. But in this case, obviously drones only can go up to 400 feet. So we're still in private public space, and there hasn't been any court cases to really set a precedent for this. So we should keep our eyes on this, droners, because this will let you know if you get your drone shot at, if you have any rights or if you don't, or if you want to shoot drones, if you have any rights or not. Coming in at number two, Lego drones, which is just awesome in itself. That's all I really have to say. But there is a company called Flybricks that is making drones. They're doing these drones that are kind of like Legos. They're crash friendly, easy to repair, and like all the pieces on the drones are like removable, customizable. Their target demographic is kind of kids, to get them to be interested in science and technology and computers. But obviously people like me will be interested in this kind of drone because you can customize it to make it do whatever you want. And they're pretty standard chassis of a drone, and then you could just put cameras on it, you can put software on it, you can put whatever you want on it, GPS stuff. Like, it's really cool, and literally Legos, though. I'm not just saying that they're interchangeable drones. Like, you can literally put your Lego set on this drone. If you take a look at it, it looks really cool. And honestly, this is the kind of thing, like, for developers and for people that make drones or people that love drones like me, will be really cool to be able to do. Say, hey, I have this one drone that doesn't cost a super lot of money that I want to experiment with agricultural filming or something, or experiment with going really fast, or these new motors or something. This will be the drone to test everything on, or build your own custom drone that does more than one thing. It's really up to you. Either way, their basic set is about $149, and to get a remote controller with it, it's going to be $189. Probably worth the investment and worth checking out. Let's look into it. Coming in at number three, we have European ambulance drones. Delft, yes, Delft University of Technology in the Netherlands has developed an ambulance drone that is supposed to be able to help save people from cardiac arrest more than anything else. Of course, it has going to have other medicines on it. But if you look at it, it looks really cool. It kind of actually looks like an ambulance with the colors and the lights and all that. And it flies to wherever there is a problem. So you call it and say, 911, Grandpa just died or passed out in the place. We need help, you know, and obviously they're going to be driving to get there as fast, but traffic and things get in the way. But a drone just flies straight to the spot, lands right next to wherever you are outside, and then the dispatcher is actually able to speak to you through the drone and see through the drone camera what's going on and be able to guide you with the defibrillator and say, hey, look, put this on the chest, do this, press this button, compress the chest. Like, they'll give you a way to help save, especially cardiac arrest. And when it's a pretty serious thing. When cardiac arrest, like when somebody has it, only 10% people are surviving. And that's simply just because we can't get there in time. So with drones like this, that is a really big deal. And another case that I love to talk about of drones helping people. Coming in at number four, a drone movie that is like double entendre or whatever you want to call it, in the sense of like the drone movie is about drones that are actually autonomously shooting the movie. At the same time, they are also a character in the movie. It's about two teens that are under house arrest in a government facility shutdown area, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And they are passing notes or messages to each other because one of the kids hacked the drone that is overwatching them and is able to deliver messages back between the two of them. Really cool in concept, and it's also shot, like I said, entirely on autonomous drones. This to me is like really interesting to see like what kind of shots they did with it. The filmmaker named Liam Leung really feels like drones are cultural objects, and really just implemented every aspect of a drone into this piece because he thought that would be relevant. So I'm really interested to see like what he does with the perspective of drones off of that. So let's stay tuned to see what he did. Coming in last but not least, Facebook making drones give everybody internet, and of course Facebook. as has been previously mentioned in Droner News. And we talked about Facebook with these drones that are going to be flying in circles around areas that don't have internet to provide them with internet, and also are able to stay in the air for a really long time because of their solar panels. We learned a little bit more about them. They're still possibly going to happen. Obviously, there's a lot of red tape for wherever they're going to do it. But I want to bring it back up for one really funny reason. The funniest reason is because Facebook also announced that the drones don't work if there's like high winds at all. It just like completely disrupts them, which completely mitigates almost most of the area they'd want to work in, because these drones are actually designed to fly at 60,000 feet, which, if you don't know, that's like twice as high as a commercial airliner. And they're even going to have these drones being having pilots who are going to be communicating with towers and all that for them, so that everybody will know they're up there. But it's just really funny to think. It's like, yo, like, we're going to build this drone that's going to give everybody internet. It's going to be perfect. It's going to fly in the air for a long time. It's going to help everybody out, and it's going to give them internet. It's going to be fantastic, but there can't be a lot of wind. Like, if there's a lot of wind, it just doesn't work. So yes, the internet will be restricted to Facebook and then other research-based topics, like I said before in the other Droner News, but I guarantee you that's better than nothing. Hey droners, thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Droner News. Really appreciate you being here. And if you want to see more Droner News episodes, because they are awesome, everyone is packed with so much good information, you can click right about here. Or if you want to see me playing with drones, playing with racing drone people and racing drones and other really cool stuff involving drones, you can click right about there. Oh, there, somewhere around there. You probably get it. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because that is what we do. It is the best thing that you can do. And as always, stay fly.